Hello everyone! Welcome to round 2 of the Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. I am Arborelia, I'm going to be your solo commentator tonight, and this is a very exciting match between Malmo and Tojso, both of whom very much know their glitches. Malmo is the one who came up with this category. And I know both of them from the No Logic Racing community, so I've seen them perform an extremely large variety of glitches. This is very exciting. And because I'm a solo commentator, chat, feel free to help me notice things. Okay, we are starting the race. Starting the race with a sword? When does that happen? Alright, so we got a check that is all crystals in the light world. And there's another sword right there! And our racers can go get that sword also. It is really not far away when you can do overworld glitches. So here's Tojso setting it up. You just clip into this diagonal slope and hop down to the very bottom of the screen where you can get into a position where you can auto-walk to the island. And then you save and quit from there because there's really not anywhere you can get from there. So yes, this is Hybrid Major Glitches, which combines overworld glitches with a particular kind of underworld glitch, where basically, if a wall lets you clip through it, you can clip through that wall, and you can deal with the implications of that. So that has a lot of implications in the overworld, where you can, for example, just kind of clip through any diagonal slope, pretty much. And also in the underworld, there are some sloped walls that you can clip through that in many cases take you to another dungeon. And some of these clips are in logic. The really interesting thing about this is that it logically makes Mire, Hera, and Swamp into kind of one big dungeon. Because you can get the keys from one and bring them into another without the game realizing you're in another dungeon. But double sank and quit. Oh my gosh, I don't fully understand the sank and quit glitch, but it's a glitch as I understand it that lets you skip the menu and just go directly to the sanctuary. That one's allowed in minor glitches. So both of them checking the Lost Woods now. Free pull gives only a few rupees. And with a sword, Tojso is going directly to Death Mountain. This makes a lot of sense. You can get all over to Death Mountain, especially conveniently if you can sword spin. And so Tojso is doing the glitch called New Death Mountain Ascent. It will probably be called New Death Mountain Ascent even when it is no longer new, where you just kind of hop around with the screen wrapped like that, and you can get into the Death Mountain Ascent cave, which is supposed to require gloves. And Malmo's doing the same thing. Compared to other modes, racers very often end up putting off going to Kakariko Village in this mode. And, you know, Kakariko Village is full of items, but so is Death Mountain. And another thing you can do is what Tojso is doing, which is immediately descend Death Mountain onto Graveyard Ledge, or King's Tomb. King's Tomb is a place that's very easy to isolate, so if you just do it first, you don't have to worry about it. And you can just save and quit from here and get back on the mountain. But a thing I also commonly see is descending to the Graveyard Ledge because you get free bombs there. Malmo has screen wrapped to Hera. It's a very fast way up to Hera. Tojso is also doing the Graveyard Descent. I forget already what Malmo just got in the basement. Malmo is using a space person sprite, the one that she always uses. It was a big key. Okay, big key in the basement. That's actually interesting because, like, unlike in the usual modes where you're guaranteed to find a big key somewhere downstairs in Tower of Hera, in this mode, your access to the upstairs of Tower of Hera could be blocked, and the game expects you to come from Mire. But in this case, you get to go up Hera, starting in Hera. And you know, having the Master Sword and having Hera be a crystal, it is both sensible and convenient to finish off Hera now. There's one of the items in Hera. Malmo's setting up the bomb jump to check the big chest. And there's item number 2. It's both items out of Hera. All that remains is the crystal. Actually, another thing that remains to be found in Hera is the small key. It's very important. The Hera small key is the most convenient small key to bring into Swamp, and most of the time you do need to bring a key from elsewhere into Swamp. There is Moldorm defeated quickly on Momo's side. Oh, and Moldorm just has the map. The small key is locked behind its own door in the basement, and so that key is not going to be available. The game expects you to bring a key from Mire, where there's just an extra key because the logic expects you to never open the Rupee Room door. But another thing that we keep speculating about, but I don't think anybody has ever done in one of these tournament races, is that you can clip through the wall from the 3rd floor of Hera into the sewer, and you can steal a key from the key rat if you set it up so that the door's already open. And that could be faster than Mire in some situations. And there's Tojso getting the bad news and the crystal, and Momo's doing her Death Mountain descent to the graveyard. The dungeons that you worry about in the usual modes would be like Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, but in this mode, the dungeon you worry about most, the kind of final boss, is Swamp Palace, because Swamp Palace is at the end of the whole chain of logic of Mire to Hera to Swamp, and it has a lot of item requirements. Here's Tojso walking on the clouds, and you can just clip into the floating island there. A technique that allowed Tojso to get up there is called an up teleport. If you clip a certain distance into a diagonal slope, you can move a certain number of tiles up, or a certain different distance moves you a certain number of tiles down, and that gets you to a lot of places. Momo has visited the Old Man Under the Bridge, which is another very isolatable location that you might as well just do early on. And there's the Moon Pearl. So, one thing that very much distinguishes this mode from major glitches is that the Moon Pearl is usually in a reasonable and convenient location. It is not going to make you do an improbable sequence of glitches that could include one-frame clips to find a Moon Pearl. The only underworld glitches that HMG expects you to do, there's 4 of them. They are the Kiki Skip, which takes you from Spectacle Rock Cave into the Palace of Darkness. There's the clip from Mire to Hera, the clip from Hera to Swamp, and the clip from the front of Ice Palace deeper into Ice Palace. And all of those can be required. So it's only four additional moves that the logic really expects you to do, and it changes kind of everything compared to overworld glitches. Yeah, the logic just ends up feeling completely different. There's Malmo getting the Moon Pearl. Tojso's done with Death Mountain for now. Very often the route ends in Paradox Cave. Yep, both of them continuing to not visit the village. Tojso looks like he's still not visiting the village. So the idea is that you kind of want to put off going to Kakariko so that you can do all the things you want to do in Kakariko at once. So you kind of want to have a bottle, or the powder, or the flute maybe, if you're going to activate the flute. Another thing about this mode is that you tend to only activate the flute if you get it sufficiently early, because it's convenient, but it's never required. But Tojso is doing the South Shore route, and Malmo actually is going to Kakariko. She is the first to give in. Let's see what bounty of items she will find here. A lamp. And a cane of Samaria. Alright. That's pretty cool. No immediate implications, but good things to have. Oh, fire source, actually. Wait, yeah, with the fire source, you can just clear desert. That's actually awesome. Yeah, the other thing about putting off Kakariko is that very often you want to go immediately to the desert after Kakariko. They're really not very far apart in overworld glitches. And a bow! Alright, so Desert and Eastern are now extremely doable for Malmo. And Tojso looks like he has found kind of diddly squat in the south. And is now setting up a clip I don't recognize. What's this? Tojso is wrapping the map to desert. And not staying with the map wrapped, going to Eastern Palace. Or going to Sahashala with kind of this glitchy tile boundary chasing him. Anyway, that was a neat overworld clip that I haven't seen before. And there's a third sword for Tojso. So yeah, Tojso might feel pretty good about not isolating Sahashala until he finds the bow, and then he'll probably regret it a little bit. There's Malmo in Desert Palace. Big key in the most convenient place. Was that item number 1 from Desert? No, that was a small key. There's item number 1. Yeah, I know approximately none of the implications of map wraps, especially on the overworld where you've got irregularly sized tiles. I know in the underworld, when you wrap the map, it makes a bunch of sprites disappear. Malmo has done the very typical HMG route through the desert. Just kind of go in the left side, out the right side, and then you can hop up onto this cliff and check Cave 45. And then if you clip through that slope in the right place, you're back on top of the cliff, and you can go visit Agina. So basically every diagonal wall in this game is full of holes, and you just have to figure out how to use that to get you where you're trying to go. Oh, there's a bottle. One that you're probably unlikely to find before Kakariko. Tojso's gonna head through desert now. And Momo is going to show this bottle to the sick kid and not just leave the sick kid isolated. The sick kid is kind of known to be holding important items, but here he's just holding 20 bucks. Are we getting this map wrap? Are we getting it? Oh, this is exciting. So my understanding about wrapping the map in that direction is that you, like, can't move right, or else you, like, hard lock, something like that. Anyway, that was really cool. Hey, Mom almost found a book in Eastern. Yeah, that was a really cool route. And again, a thing I haven't seen before. There's item number 2 already. On commentary recently, we were talking about the statistics of just skipping the big key chest. The one that you have to go through, like, the whole dark thing to get to. Wonder if this is a situation where we'll see Momo do it. This requires the big key to actually show up, which it has. I believe that Momo had said that, like, she doesn't care about the statistics, she's not going to isolate that chest. And that's what we're seeing now. It's just somebody had an argument that, like, skipping it is kind of likely to pay off. But there's already so many places you can isolate in this game. Probably don't want to add another one without a good reason. Oh, Tojso is going to go finish up desert. Something that Momo didn't do on her route. And of course, this doesn't require the glove. All you have to do is just kind of hop over the rocks by parkouring a little bit off the slope, which is what Tojso did. Now this means that Tojso won't be able to go places after desert like Malo did because he will then be stuck inside the rocks. Now we've got two different boss fights going on. Tojso has defeated the Armos Knights. And Tojso has defeated the Landmolas, Momo has defeated the Armos Knights, and there was really nothing in Eastern, but now Momo can route in Sahashala here. Tojso also looks like he's heading back to Eastern. Pretty quick entry to Eastern if you screen wrap here. There we go, and Momo is back on Death Mountain. Using the Hera Wrap as the quickest way to get up Death Mountain. She's got the Moon Pearl, so she's got access to a lot of places in the Dark World, but often without the mirror you want to finish up what you can in the Light World first. Now she's hopping into that portal. So check, there are pendants in Turtle Rock, Mire, and Ice. The pendant in Mire means I think we are more likely than ever to see the key steal from the Key Rat in this race. Because you don't need to do Mire, and you do need to do Swamp. Hey, look! Let's have a Four Swords adventure, starting at 23 minutes into the race. Is it possible to do Mimic Cave without going through Turtle Rock? You can definitely hop onto the ledge and then mirror from there. Trying to remember if there's a more direct thing, and yeah, okay, sounds like there is, and I don't know it. Alright, Malmo dipping into Skullwoods, which, she can't finish, but might as well at least see what's in the front. That mummy's having fun. I think we've seen no items in Skullwood so far. What was that? I missed it. Heart piece. Okay, so now you've seen one item from Skullwoods. Reassuring that they're not both in the back. Oh, a shield. Okay, yep, so one item. And the other ones in the back entrance, blocked by the fire rod. Here's Tojso setting up splash deletion. And not quite getting it. Yep, I think it was because of the Armos being defeated. You have to dunk some bombs in the water to clear the state that you get from Armos that makes splash deletion not work. And from here, Mummel can do almost all of these down. She's going to have to skip the big chest, unless she finds the hammer on the way. Tojso getting a free blue potion. That is a liquid flute. I mean, you can also just drink it to refill your health and magic, I guess, but one of the cool things about blue potions is you can, if you drink it at the same time as a screen transition, you get fake flute. Yep, splash delete is not required. It is also allowed in minor glitches. So Malmo feels ahead right now, but I know that Tojso has checked a bunch of places that Momo is probably going to have to check. Those are doing a Death Mountain descent to check Lumberjack Ledge. That's neat. We know from previous races about the value of making sure to check that sometime. And then just hopping back up the mountain with a Lumberjack Death Mountain descent. Yeah. And here is Tojso's entry to the Dark World. And he is just setting up for what looks like the standard Death Mountain descent. You just bonk, you hop through the corner, bonk against that wall, and auto walk onto this screen. Oh, I missed the glove. Run of the East Town. Neat. Tojso is not going on a Four Swords adventure. Spike Cave still requires the hammer. Ooh. They've both got the mirror. That's another thing that I didn't notice. And that's going to make a lot of Dark World routing really convenient, where you can work in the Light World checks you haven't done yet. And, perhaps more relevantly to this mode, you can do mirror wraps. A mirror wrap is, for example, the way that that racers usually get into Ice Palace, even though it's not the logical way. Although, maybe they won't be going to Ice Palace at all. Interesting that like the three last dungeons in vanilla are the ones that ended up pendants. Yeah, there's that glove. The one thing we might see sometime is that our racers might go check the Meyer medallion, not because they plan to go into Meyer unless they absolutely have to, but because it provides information about what is locking the swamp. Except, it provides information about what's logically locking the swamp, because you need to logically get a key from the Meyer. Momo is doing just a quick map to stop the blinky effect that you get from entering the mire with the rain layer being loaded improperly. And so mire was Ether Medallion, like usual. So Swamp will not be in logic until the Ether Medallion is found, unless there, by that 1 in 10 chance, the small key to Swamp happens to be in that first chest where it usually is. Then you can just clip back out of the mire and continue exploring the Dark World. Oh, hey, Momo is routing in the Ether Tablet check, not Ether Tablet, Bombos Tablet check in the least glitchy way. Oh, is Tojso getting knocked off the conveyor belt a lot? The mirror was somewhere around Village of Outcasts. Ooh, Ice Rod. That is hopefully never needed for anything. Now we're in Hype Cave. Is there any hype in Hype Cave? There kind of is. There's silver arrows. That's something. Ganon is now easy. Ganon is now extremely easy. Another thing that I missed is, did we see all 4 items in Thieves Town? Do we know that the big chest is the map or compass? Cool. All right, that's another thing to not worry about. There's Tojso getting the map check information. And really all you need to know is where the pendants are. It doesn't often matter where the red crystals are because usually you get the mirror, and usually you can set up a mirror glitch that gets you into the pyramid, which it looks like is what Malmo's setting up right now. So you wrap the screen and then drop the mirror in this particular location, and the mirror portal ends up not where you are. It ends up at the coordinate the game thought you were at after wrapping the screen, which turns out to be in the castle courtyard. So then Momo can unwrap the screen by going inside and back outside and do a Death Mountain descent and go find that portal. It's important to not save and quit because that removes your portal. And is she gonna river clip to get to the castle? This is a fun way to get there. Let's hop into the river and run around confusing you with the screen wrapped, and run back, and somehow you're in the castle. In the meantime, did Tojso get the Meyer information? Yeah, the castle kind of feels like the fourth pendant dungeon, and it's got a lot of checks, and you need to route it in sometime. Especially with the escape, or with the secret passage with the uncle being right outside, having 2 more items. Rule of thumb that I've heard is that if you haven't checked Uncle an hour into the race, you should think about going there. But I have seen racers get to go mode without ever talking to their uncle. Okay, Momo is doing the Dark Cross check. Tojso is just continuing onward to the pyramid, which is usually something that you would route in with the mirror clip into the pyramid. But Tojso's just stopping by there as part of his route up to what looks like Catfish. Alright, Malmo knows that she's not even looking for anything in the Dark Cross. She must have narrowed it down to being the map, but she opened that door because she is setting up for the Key Rat steal. This might be the first time in the tournament we get to see it. I'm excited. Inside the pyramid, we've got really not much, and the Pyramid Fairy grants also a liquid flute. Blue potions are plentiful if you just ask a fairy for them. The Harris Mall is not available. It is locked behind its door. I didn't know that was a good mirror spot. That's cool. Another bottle. Okay, Tojso is setting up something. Screen wrapping and running up Death Mountain. This is the Catfish Death Mountain descent. Look at that ominous water. And Tojso is now in Hookshot Cave. Yeah, that was extremely swag. Okay, wow. Malmo is visiting Ganon's tower. She doesn't have logical access to either side of it. She doesn't have any access to the left side. She could do the right side, and all she needs to do is that horrible thing where you bomb jump and light the torch and then complete the room really fast. Let's see if she does that or if she's just here for the 3 items. Or 4 items. It's a bunch of keys. Tojso, meanwhile, is hovering Hookshot Cave. Hovering is absolutely the hardest minor glitch, and let's see if it works out for Tojso. I know the worst thing is when you manage to hover to all but one chest, and then that chest is isolated. But Tojso has gotten 2 of the chests that way, and then is going to do, possibly more productive things. Like screen wrapping to the laser bridge. And Momo did not try to do the right side of Ganon's tower, she just did the tile room and left. So that screen wrap just zips you to the door of the laser bridge entrance to Turtle Rock, but you do have to bomb yourself out of the wall, unlike entrance shuffle or inverted. Momo doing the insta-clip version of the Kiki skip. So Momo is now in Palace of Darkness, in a Palace of Darkness room, but in cave state. And a neat thing about cave state is that the way the game tells itself to not show your number of keys is to have the key count be 255. So you can just spend your nearly unlimited keys. And the HMG route is just that you spend 1 key on that door. Now you have 254 keys. You really don't want to open chests in cave state, because if you find keys, which is extremely likely, especially in this dungeon, those keys are going to belong to cave state instead of to the dungeon, and you don't need that. So you just open that 1 door and then do Palace of Darkness pretty much like usual, but with an extra key, which changes a lot of your routing and makes things very convenient. And meanwhile, Tojso is doing Turtle Rock backwards, and I haven't noticed if he's gotten anything from it yet. Outer in Palace of Darkness. Now there's a lot of tricks to like counting the keys that you get in various areas of Palace of Darkness to imply how many other keys there are in places to know where you need to check. And I can never quite follow it. But it all comes from the thing where Palace of Darkness assumes that you spend the keys in the worst possible way, and assumes that you don't do any shenanigans in cave state. So, for example, Momo mirrored out there. She seems to have logically reasoned out that the remaining chest had to be a key. Yeah, Tojso doing the Witch Death Mountain descent. Interesting to spend that mushroom before having powder, instead of using it for fake powder. But fake powder very rarely conveys an advantage in this mode compared to all the other ways you can break logic, I guess. We did not see the right side of Ganon's tower. Malmo just went to the tile room and left. Oh hey, there's that ether! The important thing about that is that it puts Swamp Palace... Well, that and Flippers will put Swamp Palace in logic. Nothing in Swamp Palace is in logic without Flippers, because... Oh no, Tojso! He did save and quit recently, so everything's fine. But that was an infinite screen wrap. Malmo handing in the mushroom to be paid a piddling amount for her drugs. And refilling the liquid flute. And she's... Did she fake flute to get there? Wait, and to leave? That doesn't make sense. Okay, no, but Momo has spent that fake flute to go directly to Kakariko Village. Ah! And there's the bat with the real flute! And Momo is not even going to bother activating it. She doesn't need a flute to get around the overworld. I don't know where Tojso's going. Checking Bombos, I guess. Almost gonna finish off Desert. Okay, let's look at the items that are going to be required for other dungeons. Palace of Darkness just requires the hammer to finish. Swamp Palace is going to require flippers. It doesn't actually require the hammer. There's a bit of an inconvenient way in without it. You just have to take 2 separate trips, once to fill the trench, and once to be on the other side of the hammer pegs. Skullwood requires the fire rod. Just sticking some silver arrows into these worms. One of them missed. Tojso doing a river clip. Is this part of the pyramid mirror clip? Yeah. And yep, Tojso is following a very similar route to Malmo on the way to the pyramid. Yeah, so go mode for the runners is going to be a fire rod, a hammer, and flippers. 3 crystal dungeons left for each runner, and each one requires a different item to finish. Oh, and hookshot! You're right, you need a hookshot to finish Swamp Palace. In addition to not have to do terrible things at the top of Ganon's Tower. So 4 items away from go mode still. Could be a hammerless seed for the Trinity to generate. How do you do a hammerless Palace of Darkness? Within these rules. The basement clip! Wait, I thought the basement clip required... Oh! The basement clip requires just underworld glitches that are, I guess, allowed? Wow. Oh my gosh, yeah. You don't beat the turtles, you just do what Yuzuhara does and skip right over the rail in the U-shaped room with an extremely difficult setup. I forgot that that was allowed in this mode. Is Momo getting half magic? And not attempting to do anything else in Hookshot Cave. Here we're seeing a very rare thing, which is a speedrunner having the mirror shield and knowing they have it, and just using it to block the lasers instead of doing any kind of setup. Laser skip, skip. Tojso setting up a screen wrap and oh, just setting up to go into Ganon's tower. As Momo is going to retrace the steps, the checks that Tojso did in Turtle Rock. So that dark Turtle Rock room with a platform, doing it backwards is wonderful. You just hold up. Okay, Tojso doesn't get in his tower. I wonder if he's going to be just checking the 4 chests that are in logic, or doing the bomb jump on the right side. Yeah, where is the actual logical progress? There's Ice Palace. There's Misery Mire. And Swamp Palace won't be in logic until there's flippers. And the reason for that is that, for chat's benefit, the reason for that is that if you flooded the trench first, you would be permanently locked out of Swamp Palace. Oh, Ice Palace is actually out of logic for the same reason. That's true. Because the Mirror Wrap to Ice Palace is actually not the logical way to get there. The Flipper's Wrap is. The Flipper's Wrap is also much harder, so it's not the thing that people actually do. And yeah, here's Tojso getting mummies out of the way and setting up for the bomb jump to clear this room. The thing about this is the timing is extremely tight, and also you've got to set up a bomb jump with a shooter shooting fire at you. But there's the bomb jump. And you gotta try not to get 1.0'd by the hand. Which is, where the hand lifts you out of the pit as you're falling in it. And then you just have to have really clean movement as you light the other 3 torches. And very well done. So we'll see how that pays off for Tojso. Because it's going to take him to these 4 chests and to the chests in the middle. Ooh, wow. So it gives Tojso the big key. And a medallion that he probably doesn't need. And the Titan's Mitts, which are perhaps more of a curse, because all those do is open up more locations in the overworld. Or, give you an easy way into Ice Palace, I guess. Alright, let's see what Malmo is finding here in Misery Mire, which is in logic. Yeah, the Gannis Tower Big Key requires the Fire Rod. Another bottle in the Gannis Tower Big Chest. I'm guessing that Tojso will avoid taking advantage of the Titan's Mitts, or avoid doing Titan's Mitts only checks until they turn out to be in logic. Alright, and also Tojso is not going to stop there with Ganon's Tower. He's going up Ganon's Tower. He's got everything but the hookshot, and he doesn't need the hookshot because he can hover. Just means he's going to be missing out on the validation chest. Unless Hookshot turns out to be in the top of Ganon's tower. It's always incredibly rude when it happens. Why climb Ganon's tower now? Well, there's 4 items up there, and you have to do it sometime. You do have to beat Aga 2 at some point. Oh yeah, you can... That's true. I'm thinking of Moldorm Bounce. You can defeat Moldorm and then hover. Only problem is if you fail it, you've got to go defeat Moldorm again. Okay, I've been missing what's happening in Mire. Why is Vitreous required? Oh, just for an item. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is intriguing that Tojso is doing all of these checks out of logic. But there's really not a lot in logic, and again, you've got to do it sometime, and if you're confident enough in hovering, might as well just route it in with the rest of Ganon's tower. Alright, Vitreous is dead and has the flippers! Well, Zeto, you called it. Okay, that is extremely valuable information. And Malmo is now going to set up access to Swamp Palace. Now, if she wants to finish Swamp Palace... Oh, she can't. No hook shot. So we may see her do this just once, and just go take a one-way trip through the front of Swamp Palace. Alright, welcome Raiders from SpeedGaming 2 to a hybrid major glitches race. The mode where walls don't matter sometimes. Here's Malmo, for example, doing the dash citrus clip through this diagonal wall, and this is one of the ways to get from Mire into Hera. You can also bomb yourself. If you light the torches, you can also bomb yourself through the right wall. And another dash citrus here. You just start with a dash and then do a bunch of one-frame movements that teleport you down through the wall. Tojso just hovered. Wow, like while I wasn't even paying attention. I do believe you can soft lock your game by spending all of the Mire keys in Mire. This includes having to spend the key to the rupee room that nobody ever goes to, unless they're playing vanilla for the first time and are lost. But yes, you can in fact soft lock that way. You can also soft lock by doing the wrong thing in Cave State, though. Malmo's setting up... Oh, Malmo's setting up another fake flute. Because she doesn't need the real flute. And the cool thing about fake fluting in the dark world is it puts you in the fake light world, which means that next time you screen transition, you're back in the dark world. So it's a very quick way of getting to the flute spot. It's the equivalent of the flute spot, but in the dark world. Yeah, this game mostly has that key logic, but there are some things that it has to assume that you don't do because no logic could prevent you from, like, there is nothing that the logic could do to prevent you from doing them. And one of them is spending all your Mire keys in Mire, and another thing would be using up, like, collecting keys in Cave State when they were supposed to be for a dungeon. Specifically Palace of Darkness. Oh, Catfish had the shovel? I'm almost gonna come back to Sasha, turn in the green pendant, and get his everlasting love and admiration, and nothing else. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Momo is doing the key rat steal. Maybe? No? Oh, no, she's just going to swamp. Right, the door's open. She came from Mire. Never mind. We are still not seeing the key rat steal because Mire was very required. That's right. Yeah, forgot about that. So to actually finish Swamp, you've got to flood the dam. She's not planning to finish Swamp. I mean, you can't finish Swamp without the hook shot. So she just got everything set up so that when she has the hook shot, she can do Swamp front to back. Yeah. The other thing that she could have done in that state would be to push that lever to flood the dam, mirror back to Hera, and do the clip again, but go to the other side of the pegs. And that would allow checking the rest of Swamp. But that's really not a place you want to check if you can at all help it without being able to finish Swamp. Momo demonstrating the way to use that portal without the hammer. And she digs up a single arrow. Tojso apparently having the wrong position for the hammer yump. And just gonna go do the room normally. Here's Momo heading towards... Oh! Oh, she is gonna do Swamp Palace, just like the mostly normal way. Also, she's never opened this chest. That's funny. I think I saw a bit of a double take from her sprite movement there. Okay, and Tojso's done with Palace of Darkness for now. Yes, those are the links to our runners. Alright, Malmo is doing Swamp front to back and hoping to find something in Swamp. It really seems like progress is either in Swamp or Ice. And neither dungeon can be finished. Ooh. An incomplete diver down there. She's trying again. Tojso has done Ganon's Tower. So they've completed the same number of dungeons. Oh, did the Eastern Palace map rap, which saved at least 5 minutes. In our hearts. But yeah, the flippers on Vitreous are huge. Momo is setting up the delayed bomb. This is something you can do in minor glitches also. You leave the room while that bomb is exploding and diver down here, and then you can come up here and let the bomb finish exploding. Hookshot be big chest and big key in the back. That would be amazing. Like, you'd have to bring the Meyer big key. I don't see why not. I would say right now that Momo's closer to the finish. But if Tojso goes all the way through Misery Mire, then that may change. And Tojso's actually likely to go all the way through Misery Mire. It's, possibly close. Momo has wasted less time. Rock really can't be completed, but both of our racers have done everything they can do in Turtle Rock without a fire rod. Speaking of fire rods! Oh my gosh, Momo has just never been to the South Shore. Also, that's the last bomb that she had. Very nice that there were bombs in there. Yeah, this is 8 item checks that she skipped out on until now. She's even avoiding spending a bomb to get into Ice Rod Cave. Just do the right teleport and get pulled in by the rock. So trying to do Mire Breaker here, but getting harassed a little bit by the Fire Snake, but there we go. Oh, not just 8 checks, she hadn't checked the waterfall either. She gets her red armor, she's not refilling her bottle to get another liquid flute. And Tojso has the information that the last item's in the back, and he's gonna go get it. However, Malmo's gonna have a big advantage for Ganon's tower, that she has the fire rod. Of course, she might not go back to Ganon's tower until she also has the hammer, which would be a distraction. So yeah, it looks like Momo might be heading to Ganon's tower now. No? No, just a Death Mountain descent? Love the Earthbound reference there. Okay, so Momo's doing Skullwoods, which makes sense. Especially with Skullwoods being a thing that she can reasonably finish, and Ganon's tower can only be completed by being unreasonable. Yeah, in this mode, because we have the same tracker, yeah, we mostly just use the Aga icon to represent Aga 2. Aga 1 is only ever required in the case where there's an item on... oh no! If there's an item on Lumberjack Ledge. So Momo's gotten yoinked, unfortunately, for her. Tojso is back in Hera. I didn't see where he came in from. Is this Hera State right now? No, this is Mire State. So Tojso's going to be opening up Swamp Palace to the extent that he can. Alright, Mothula is dead. Yeah, Tosha's checking the Swamp Palace items on the way out. Almost still needs to find the other skull item, and here it is. It's the hammer! Alright, so the fire rod in Swamp led to the hammer in Skullwoods. Also, I'm almost checking the pedestal, even though it seems we've reasoned out that it can't be anything. Doesn't necessarily have all the same information. But now we know for sure that the pedestal is Dedestal. Yeah, Tojso taking another trip into Swamp Palace. Presumably also to do the thing that Momo did to just flood the trench so that it's ready for later. Nothing in Spike Cave, but Momo is doing this on the way to Ganon's Tower, so she's getting spin speed off of those steps and leaving Spike Cave. Thank you, Zeto. Yeah. Yeah, those first 2 minutes of the seed were good times. Also, these are good times. I believe that Momo doesn't hover. So she's probably just here to check the right side. Oh, and the middle, of course, but she's got the big key for later. Or if she decides to risk it and go up Ganon's Tower anyway. The hammer was in the back of Skullwoods, locked behind the fire rod, which was in the left side of Swamp Palace. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was locked by the flippers, which were on Vitreous. Your drawing is asking how to tree warp, and I can provide a link for that. But I thought that tree warping to Link's house was extra confusing. Isn't that the one that ends up completely dark? And also, if you leave it accidentally, then then your game freezes for up to 18 minutes? Yeah, Momo having the hammer also gets to check the left side. Hey, Mama has seen what she needs to see of left side of GT. By the way, the tree warp glitch that we are talking about is not allowed in HMG. That is a no logic thing. Momo making use of both the Titan's mitts and the hammer to check the hammer pegs and to bring the smith home. Yeah. Yeah, all that she is looking for is the hook shot. What if hook shots in one of the hammer locked places in Ice Palace? So Momo is leaving the purple chest behind, but there's a glitch when you get to the locksmith that makes it count anyway. And she is just heading directly there, I believe, hopping over this cliff. And you just need to mirror in the right spot. And for that, she gets the Sanctuary Heart. And it kind of looks like she's heading to Ice Palace now. Meanwhile, Tojso is about to find that fire rod. And Momo is setting up the Ice Palace clip. This is allowed in this mode and sometimes even required. Not this time, but gives you a nice route through, especially when you use Icebreaker. So the problem I encountered with tree warping to Link's house is that it's dark and you accidentally walk out the door and then you're walking out of an EG2 room in the wrong place. If I understood that correctly. And that's the thing that that locks your game for up to 18 minutes. And again, this is the kind of thing that comes up because, possibly because our race crew here and both of our runners are no logic players, as far as I know, and many people in chat. Okay, I probably did something wrong on top of it then. Neat. Tojso is about to find that hammer after he finishes beating up Mothula. So this is going to remain a close race. It kind of all comes down to where the hookshot is. Oh, there's Bombos. So as of now, Tojso has finished more dungeons. Yep, Tojso's got that hammer now. And yeah, having Bombos, and the gold sword. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna say that made Cold Stare very quick. And there is the hook shot on Cold Stare. Just a ridiculous linear chain of these 4 required items. In addition to that, like this seed had 2 extremely required pendant dungeons. Bombos was also an ice palace. I was just going to be finishing up Palace of Darkness, which I think chat was saying is a very sensible move that will just happen to not pay out. Yeah, I wouldn't say the race is over yet. It really depends how soon Tojso goes to Ice Palace. Nice silver arrow stuck into Argus, providing the swamp key. And Tojso, I believe, is beating up Helmasaur with the Extendo Hammer. No, it can't be the Extendo Hammer, there's no hookshot. Just the normal hammer. So yeah, both racers have now finished 8 of the 10 dungeons they need to finish in this seed. I didn't know there was a way to get spin speed in the Helmosaur boss room. Did the swamp big Q lock itself? I guess so. Okay. Yeah. But then you have to, like, not dash from wherever you armed it. Okay. Oh! Oh, right, of course. Yes, I'm misunderstanding it. Yeah. Right. That was an interesting clip. It looked... Wow. Was that half of a skydive? That's amazing. Yeah, so that was a setup for a clip called the Super Jump or the Skydive, which takes you from Death Mountain all the way to the bottom of the map by jumping in a way that wraps the screen 4 times and then doing it again. Except Tojso just did it once to warp to the middle of the map. The problem with super jumping is you can't scroll the screen up after it, so you just kind of gotta know how to navigate. And is he finishing off the super jump just by running up and down the screen? Or just somehow unwrapping it? Neat. Wow. I did not comprehend what was going on there, but Tojso's got the screen unwrapped now. Alright, Malmo has finished everything but Ganon's tower. Yeah, now Malmo's way ahead. Because Tojso's still looking for things, and he still needs to do Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. And he doesn't know he needs to do Ice Palace. So Malmo clipping into Ganon's tower one more time. Yeah, where's Tojso going? Back into Ganon's tower to check the left side. Oh. Yeah, because he's only looking for the hook shot. And I guess we saw Malmo do this also. There's only one chest you have to check, which it would be mind-boggling if the hookshot were in there. It's in logic, but you really don't think about it. Okay, it's not in logic in this circumstance. That's kind of amazing. I've never seen a seed with hookshot in there. And Momo continues just go-moding through Ganon's tower. Tojso is doing Turtle Rock checks, unfortunately. Alright, 2-2-2 against Aga 2. And Momo is heading on to Ganon. Momo just doing a couple extra sword slashes. Just to be sure. And those are the first two phases. So having to ride this platform around, of course, because he doesn't have the hook shot. Tojso finds the big key and a small key, and all that's left to check is that big chest, which of course is also not going to be a required item. Momo doesn't get the torch glitch, but also this is the easiest Ganon fight, so it doesn't matter. Oh, and a nice triple to finish off Ganon! Wow. So GG to Malmo, who despite everything finished that seed in an hour 47. Hey Malmo, congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what did you think of that seed?
It was like I planned out a seed to show what HMG can do and then made myself play it.
that is an amazing way to put it. Yeah, nice chain of 5 required items, including 2 pendant bosses.
Yeah, do I have it right that swamp quadruple dip was required?
I don't know. I mean, chat was talking about the possibilities of doing like whatever that clip is in Swamp to do fewer dips, but I don't follow it. But it sure was a lot of dips through Swamp.
I'm trying to think because like I needed 1 dip to flood, so I could have triple dipped it if I did it in the right order and just flooded first.
Mm-hmm.
But not
But
when
why?
Vitreous has the flippers. Like that's not the seed where you do that. You don't flood swamp when you have the flippers. When you don't have the flippers.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So like it wouldn't have made sense to triple dip it. So it's not technically hard required, but everyone's gonna do it anyway. So I don't have the stream up. Where's Taj?
Yeah, Tojso is doing everything but Ice Palace.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to go in there without fire when you find the flippers.
Yeah.
And find bombos and still not get the hook shot. So that was kind of funny too. That's like the worst case scenario. And I almost did because I almost forgot that I didn't have fire. But I was like, I don't want to go in without the hammer. So I just did swamp because I was already at Mire. Oh, and South Shore because I forgot.
Yeah, that was kind of amazing.
I forgot because I usually do it first, and because there was an item on Hylia Island, I went to Hobo instead of South Shore, and it all kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I think you could kind of see
that I had done South Shore because I had done my normal route. I just ended it differently.
Yeah, I think we could kind of see the double take when you got to the closed chest in the dam.
Oh, I stood there for like a whole 2 seconds just staring at it. I'm like, oh my god, the hookshot and hammer are here, aren't they? And then I flooded the dam and went into swamp without looking at it because I forgot that, the hookshot could be there too. But if it's there, I'm just lost. Who cares? I already lost if it's there.
Yep.
So yeah, most roller coaster emotions was checking South Shore and finding nothing.
Yeah. So Tojso is going into Ice Palace, getting there by finally activating the flute.
Oh my god, I didn't activate mine.
Yeah.
I wish I had. I had the opportunity to so long ago. I did a couple fake flutes.
Yeah, nice use of the liquid flute. You didn't have any blue potions left when you got when you were going towards Cold Stare, right?
No, and I realized as I was dropping in that if I hadn't grabbed bombos, I would have had to Samaria magic refill to get that back.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't have enough magic for Fire Rod. You saw me probably quick swap to Fire Rod and then quick swap off of it.
Yeah, chat was definitely noticing that you that you really lucked out having bombos there.
I mean, I do have Samaria refill if I need it. I don't know how to do the index fixing, but it's probably the same as Flash Delete, but that usually requires a lot of lamps, and if you don't have enough magic, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen Samaria magic refill in a race yet. I really thought for a while this was going to be the race where we saw the key rat steal matter.
I set up for it. I'm so mad that it just made me do Vitreous anyway, because the whole point was to not have to go into Pendant Mire. This was the seed for it.
Yeah.
And that was the time to do it.
Yeah, except this really wasn't the seed for it.
Nope.
Just everything but Turtle Rock required. And there was just kind of nothing in Turtle Rock, right?
No, I didn't go back for Trinex because to do so, I would have had to go to the front to get the big key.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd have to do Mimic Cave and all that. It was... Yeah. I had torn so many holes in TR that it was irrecoverable. Like, if something was there, I would lose so much time getting it that I would lose anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we saw some really cool clips in this run, and I'm trying to think back to other things that happened besides that that ridiculous chain of logic.
I got to do EP map wrap.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, we were all very hype about that.
My use case for that is I'm turning in a fetch quest at Kakariko. That's it. It's the only time I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took Sick Kid and did it with Eastern. And then I forgot I forgot a crystal because I thought Pod was a pendant because it was a pendant in my practice seed.
Oh.
So I checked my menu and I always check my menu before going up if I've had a long seed, just in case. And I'm glad I did because I was going to get called a dingus.
Yeah. Is that what brought you to Ice Palace before Palace of Darkness?
No, I thought all 4 of them were pendants. Like, I even wrote it down which ones are pendants, but I had it in my head that Pod is a pendant. And I think what had happened is I was dismissing it because I didn't have Hammer, not because it was a pendant. But then later in the seed, I had warped it to being a pendant in my head.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got Tojso about to find the amazing hook shot. I wonder if this is like a last location or not. I'm trying to think where else exists. It's hard to keep track of what both racers have checked, though. That was an amazing race with amazing logic, and I bet we're going to be also hearing from Tojso shortly. There's that hook shot, so Tojso's now in go mode.
Did he climb?
Yeah.
Because that was in logic, and that was terrifying.
Ganon Tower climb. Wait.
I'm pretty sure that was in logic for hookshot.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if it's there, I'm not going to win this race, so I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yeah. Tojso did most of his Ganon's Tower early on. He did the bomb jump to get to the right side and then hovered at the top.
This could have been a hammerless seed if hammerless wasn't locking items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there was a bit of speculation from chat about what would make this a hammerless seed before we saw the hookshot location, but it would require the Yuzuhara thing in Palace of Darkness, right?
Oh, that's true. That was me thinking it was a pendant still, not me thinking I can do basement clip. It's a hammerless seed for 2 people, and that's you can see I haven't washed that out of my head yet. That Pod's a pendant.
Mm-hmm.
Totally had that. Like, I went to GT specifically to see if I needed the hammer. That was it.
Yeah. So for chat's benefit, if you want to see how to get to Helmasaur without hammer, you can watch the Yuzuhara's All Dungeons RMG world record. Am I naming the right run?
You cut out, so I didn't hear.
Is it the All Dungeons RMG run?
Yeah. You want to watch the world record of that? It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Unrecognizable compared to other people who've run it. Like, watch the top two. Completely different routes. Watch them side by side and see what they do.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of get the feeling that, like, the things that are allowed in RMG are the inspiration for the HMG rule set, right?
Correct. I mean, the rule set has existed for a long time. It was, for major glitches. Mm-hmm. There was a time when they were allowing the same stuff as no logic, but then nobody actually played it because they would just play no logic. Why would you put logic in your seed when you don't need to? Mm-hmm. So they restricted it. And I'm sure somebody like Chex can give you more history on that, when that happened. But HMG came about because there were a bunch of people who were doing the speedrun who wanted that experience in rando and couldn't really get it because the logic that let you do those things also expected you to do a whole bunch of stuff you don't do in the speedrun. Mm-hmm.
All right. There's Tojso finishing off Argus. Once again being the real final boss. And now Tojso just has to go do a Ganon fight, which will be only slightly slower because of the fact that Tojso looked at the fourth sword and didn't pick it up. I swear Tojso's doing the river funny auto walk thing just for swag there.
I don't think it saves time. But I don't think it loses that much either, so you might as well do it. You're on Restream. Pull out all the tricks. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'm being informed that the tempered sword fight is just as fast if you're good. Yeah, that makes sense, because the only thing where it might make a difference in timing is phase 1, and that was a one-cycle phase 1. So also getting that early arrow into Ganon. And nice finish there. GG to Tojso finishing in just over 2 hours. Hey Tojso, GG.
Hi, garbage seed.
Dumpster fire. Yeah, but it's my kind of garbage, apparently, not your kind. Because
no,
there were a lot of places that hookshot could have been that would have completely destroyed me. Like upstairs GT was available. South Shore was available.
South Shore was available? Wow.
Something happened to my early route that made me think I did South Shore when I didn't. So I ended up doing it after Swamp Fire Rod grab.
Wow.
I went into Swamp to do it and I saw the chest was closed and I was like, oh my goodness. What have I done?
Oh, man. So one funny thing that happened to me was I sequence broke the mitts out of GT and was thinking, okay, so I have to find Fire Rod before I can, clear out whatever this was. Fire Rod, of course, being left side swamp after finding Ether and Pod that I hadn't been to yet, which was blocking Meyer, which led to flippers, and God, it was a mess. And I felt like I was doing so good at the start, having like 4 crystals within a half hour. Or within the first 40 minutes or something. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the swamp logic was just amazing. We saw some really cool clips in this run. That was the first time I have ever seen the half skydive.
yeah, that's a fun one to get to hammer pegs quickly when you don't have flute.
Oh, I've never seen somebody do that in a race. That's cool.
Yeah.
I've always kind of known how, but I've never found a way to route that in. I think it's just a little awkward because it screen wraps you. So you can't really go anywhere from there unless you correct at bat or something.
Yeah, well, you have. What I did to correct it was just dash up and down on the main Village of Outcasts screen where Thieves is.
I see. So you get out and then dash in. I didn't know it would be safe to get out.
Yeah. One thing I had to do to make sure I could get there, though, since I didn't have hook shot, was to place a bomb before I picked up the rock.
Oh. Yeah, I could not follow what was going on there, but it was really cool looking. Yeah, also, it was very exciting to see the simultaneous sank and quits.
Oh, you did it too? Heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad. You see a sword on the island, you gotta do it, right?
Yeah, you have to.
I hit him with the sword beam, though, so I ended up not really saving time.
Uh-huh.
I had to hit him twice. Oh, I'm definitely down to watch this back. Sounds like a fun one for chat.
Yeah. This was an amazing one to watch. All right, so thank you again to Other Tom for tracking this, and yeah, let's drop the links. Remember to follow our runners. And yeah, anyone got any final thoughts?
Well, thanks for picking up solo comms for this one.
Yeah, it was fine.
Easy. Maybe one of us will have more time next week to do comms again.
Yeah, because one of us is going home.
Do you know when race 2 is?
Tomorrow, same time.
All right.
Let's see if I can even this thing up.
Let's not forget to thank Other Tom for tracking as well, because these restreams don't happen without a tracker at all. So,
yep.
Big shout outs, tracking a whole bunch of these too.
Yeah.
And always thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting this thing.
All right. Great show, everyone. And I think we're all done.